Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Technical Insight. The S&P 500 on Friday added 1.6% for the week to end at 4,045 points, posting gains in 3 of the last 5 trading days. Despite the S&P 500 ETF rose about 1.9% for the week. With the week advance, the US benchmark index managed to snap a 3-week losing streak, and the index also closed out a volatile February with a nearly 3% fall on Tuesday, weighed down by the Federal Reserve rate hike concerns sparked by strong economic data in the past few weeks. That downtrend initially continued for this week. However, on Thursday, a Fed official said that the US Central Bank could be in a position to pause its rate hike this summer, and that caused the market to spike up again. That positivity carried over onto Friday and helped the S&P 500 close the week on a positive note of 1.6%. So does that mean that this is the resumption of the uptrend that we see since the beginning of 2023? Let's take a look at some of the major tech stocks in US to find out what will happen next. First, let's look at Microsoft Corporation. For the past week, it is up 2.13%, and for the past 30 trading days, it is up 2.94%. Year to date, it is still up 5.02%. If you look at the Microsoft Corporation share price chart, you can notice that the indicator RSI has actually crept up to 52 points on Friday, and that was from the previous reading of Wednesday, 1st March, at only 42.77. So this has edged the RSI indicator above the 50-point neutral mark. It means that we are now seeing the Microsoft share price getting some kind of positive momentum uptrend. For the MACD indicator for Microsoft, you can see for the past 2 trading days on Thursday and Friday itself, we can see that the downtrend that we are facing for the last few weeks has been sort of fading in the momentum or the weakening of the downtrend momentum that we are seeing. So this means that we might be either going into a pause or a range bound kind of situation before we can decide whether there will be an uptrend forming on the MACD indicator. And that will only happen and confirm when the MACD line crosses above the signal line. For now, the trajectory of the MACD line and the signal lines looks to be converging, but they are looking at a sideways movement. So we'll have to wait for that confirmation. So according to these 2 indicators, we have a slight positive uptrend and a possible pausing of the downtrend that we observed in the past few weeks. On the chart itself, before the Fed official announced the possibility of a rate cut towards the end of the year, the Microsoft share price actually breached a critical resistance turn support level, and that is the double top formation that you see during the October of 2022, which was at the level of 250.34. This level see a double top formation, and that was breached on Wednesday. However, on Thursday and Friday, it managed to go back up above that resistance level. So the next resistance level now for Microsoft share price is the 20 days moving average on the basis of the Bollinger Band at 258.48. And the next resistance level will be the peak that we saw in December last year, and that is $263.92. Year-to-date high, Microsoft share price hit a high of 276.76. So for now, I believe probably the uptrend may have a bit of strength going forward, but if you're going to meet the other 2 of the resistance level, either at the 20 days moving average or even the peak that you see in December, $263, that will provide a testing time for the Microsoft share price. If we manage to close above 20 days moving average, that will also be another signal of the resumption of an uptrend. So we'll wait for that confirmation, but at this moment now, I still think that the downtrend may still continue. And if we are unable to breach that 20 days moving average, then we will see that the downtrend continue for Microsoft share price, and we will retest the year-to-date low at 210.13. Next, let's take a look at Google parent company, Alphabet Incorporation. For the past 1 week, it is up 4.71%, but for the past 30 days, it is still down 5.13%. Year-to-date, Google share price is still up 4.54%. If you look at the technical indicators on Alphabet Incorporation, you can see that the RSI indicator is reading at 49 points, which means it's still below the 50-point neutral mark. That means momentum is still very weak for Google share price at this moment, or even close to no momentum. For the MACD indicator, we can see that it's on a downtrend. However, this downtrend for the past 4 trading days or 4 trading sessions has seen a weakening of the momentum. So the downtrend that we see in the past 2 weeks is already seeing weakening. The MACD line is also seen converging towards the signal lines, and it is now reading at negative 0.36. So it is very close to the zero neutral mark. And if we have a crossover of the MACD line above the signal line, that means that we will have a resumption of the uptrend that we have observed since the beginning of 2023. On the chart itself, Microsoft reached a low of $88.58 on 24th February before we see the last 4 or 5 trading days it starts to went up again. Now the next test for Alphabet Incorporation share price will be the 20 days moving average, which is the $94.99 level, or if you round it up, that will be the $95 level to look at. If we are able to break above this $95 level, it would mean that we may continue the uptrend because the 20 days MA is a short-term MA. If we break above that, we may have a short-term uptrend again back to the high of the year-to-date high at 108.18. Now, this level of $95 also found confluence with the previous low that we observed somewhere in September 2022, and that's at the level of $95.56. So this will be a critical test for Alphabet. If it were to break this level, then definitely the next resistance level you would look at would be the December high at 102.25, and then next will be the 2023 year-to-date high at 108.18. Now, we are now waiting for a confirmation for that to happen. So we are now still in a wait and see approach. So for now, I think we will still think that the $95 moving average, 20 days moving average will still provide that resistance according to the RSI, it's the weak momentum. And according to the MACD indicator, it is still on a downtrend and still negative. Hence, for now, the technical indication is telling us that we will still see strong resistance level at $95 level. Unless it breaks above that, then we'll have a continuation uptrend. Else, the trend or direction of movement is still pretty negative for Alphabet Incorporation. Lastly, let's take a look at Apple share price. For the past 1 week, it is up 2.66%, and for the past 30 days, it's up 4.9%. And year-to-date is up impressively with a double-digit percentage growth at 15.93%. So, where is Apple share price likely to head in the next few weeks? We can see that the RSI has already breached above the 50-point neutral mark since the 1st of March, which was the reading then was 45.76. So the Friday closing, it managed to close at 56 points for the RSI indicator. That means that this uptrend is pretty positive. And among the 3 tech stocks that we are going through today, this is the one with the highest RSI reading. For the MACD indicator, same thing as Microsoft, we have the last 2 trading days showing a weaker sort of a downtrend momentum observed by Apple share price. So Apple share price has been on a downtrend since the peak that we saw on 3rd of February, and this downtrend has a sort of a weaker momentum on Thursday and Friday. The MACD line is also seen to be converging towards signal line. However, there's still a bit of difference. The reading now is negative 0.89, so we still have some confirmation to go. So even if we were to ride on this positive momentum on the RSI as well as a converging of the MACD line with the signal line, if Apple share price were to go up again, it will face a stronger resistance towards the 157.50 level, and that's the year-to-date high that we saw in February, as well as the high we saw in October period. So this more or less form a double top formation for Apple Incorporation, and a double top formation is a pretty significant resistance kind of formation to watch. So if Apple share price were to retest the 157.50 year-to-date high, I would still think that this would be a negative time for Apple share price, and Apple would see a technical reversal back downwards below the at least 20 days moving average towards the double bottom support that you see over here during the October to November period at the level of 134.37. So my preferred option to take for Apple share price would be to sort of put a short position or queue the short position at 157.50 and wait for the prices to spike up a little bit more, and then relook at my RSI as well as the MACD indicator to see if it is responding that this uptrend momentum might be short-lived. If both are still in a negative kind of a situation, then definitely this short position will be very much in our favor. So that's all I have for this week technical insights. I hope you gain something from this, and I'll see you in next week's video.